Two hackers, one American and Canadian, they hacked into Uber software developers' private account in GitHub. GitHub is an online software repository used by software developers to share and review their source code. The hackers discovered the source code, which included privileged accounts. Now, using these privileged accounts, they were able to gain access to the cloud infrastructure of Uber and discovered in plain text 27 million sensitive information, which included names, email addresses, phone numbers, and driver's license numbers. They downloaded this sensitive information and contacted Uber's executive. Now, the chief security officer, instead of notifying authorities as required by the regulators, instead paid $100,000 to the hackers under the cover-up of the bug bounty program. Now, why was Uber breached? Lack of information security program or not properly implemented? Lack of privacy program for customer and driver data. They have a liability under state laws and FTC regulators to maintain the security of sensitive information. They didn't have a procedure in place for notifying authorities regarding data breach. Technically, they didn't follow the cloud security best practices to secure their cloud infrastructure. They had a weak access control because a single access key had all or full rights to access all information. They didn't follow the software development lifecycle. They placed privileged login credentials in their source code. And last, they stored sensitive information in plain text, which should have been encrypted to make it unreadable to potential hackers. The two hackers, Brandon Glover from USA and Vasil Miriarkar from Canada, were charged for computer hacking for their unauthorized access to Uber's cloud infrastructure and downloading sensitive information. They are also charged with extortion conspiracy for conspiring with Uber executives to pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars so that they will not expose the data breach. They used the cover of the bug bounty program. In fact, these two hackers were also involved in other violations as well, like the LinkedIn data breach. Uber was investigated by the FTC and the US state attorney generals for violating the data breach notification law. They already had a previous violation before the 2016 data breach, and the FTC released a decree that they should follow. While being investigated by FTC discovered that Uber did not notify authorities regarding a new breach that happened in 2016. Therefore, they added new provisions in the 2018. Here, Uber must report future incidents involving consumer data. They should also report to FTC all third-party audits of their privacy program. And last, they should maintain records of all software bug bounty reports that they did. And they were also fined with $148 million for the latest violation in 2016. Uber's former CISO, Joseph Sullivan, who was responsible for hiding the data breach, was charged in court for obstruction of justice and concealment of felony. He did not notify the authorities regarding the data breach in 2016, and he concealed the hackers' unauthorized access to their sensitive information. Now, Joseph Sullivan is a veteran. He served as a federal prosecutor who also worked for eBay and PayPal. He became the chief security officer of Facebook before joining Uber. After being kicked out from Uber, he now serves as the chief security officer of Cloudflare.